Welcome to the epic world of dog training. I am JT Lawson. I am the lead trainer at Make Your Dog Epic. I also own the Oklahoma locations for Make Your Dog Epic, where we turn your canine companions into truly epic dogs. Get ready for your daily doses of wisdom as we tackle your questions and unleash the secrets to mastering dog training. As always, our goal is to gain obedience, but never at the expense of the dog's personality. Now, kiss. Oh, thank you. Oh, good job. Can I have a kiss? Well, thank you. Oh, let's try again. Oh, what? One more? No? Okay.
All right, Dog Training Nation, we are joined here today with JT Lawson. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who runs all of Oklahoma's Make Your Dog Epic locations. So if you're part of the Make Your Dog Epic Nation, this is the man who you want to listen to. And so if you do a search today for Broken Arrow Dog Training, you'll probably call Make Your Dog Epic. And once that phone rings, JT Lawson and his team, they're going to get a hold of you. JT Lawson, thanks for joining us today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Super pumped to be here.
So I got to ask you here, this week was an epic dog training week because every week is an epic dog training week. Tell us, what kind of dog did you train? What kind of dogs did you train this week?
We've had a bunch. So we have a cane Corso,
Cane Corso?
a cane Corso at boarding school. We have a Belgian Malinois.
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, it looks like the one on the right. So
Let me go back to it. I wouldn't.
right in the it looks like that one because it's that color. But it's great. It's a sweetheart. Super nice. It's doing good. So that one's going home this week.
I want to obsess on this for a second. So the cane Corso, this dog shows up in your life. And I'm not trying to paint you into a corner. I just want to know, did a man or a woman show up with the dog, or a husband and wife?
It was a woman. Yeah, so she got this dog.
How big is that dog?
The one, it's a smaller cane Corso, so I think it's like 110 pounds.
So she shows up with the dog, because a lot of people want to know how the mechanics of this works. So somebody, they go to makeyourdogepic.com, and because they have a cane Corso, they look around, they go, okay, the first lesson is 50 cents. Okay. Money back guarantee. Okay. I got it. You guys offer money back guarantee. You got the 50-cent lesson. You offer the highest rated, most reviewed dog training service. If I hire you guys, I have a chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. You've got this revolutionary, focus-based, positive reinforcement training. You've got a system where you're training dogs, but never at the expense of the dog's personality. So people are pretty fired up. Do you ever hear from people? Are they watching the YouTube videos or testimonials ever before they call you?
Yeah. I mean, we've had like every time we do, because we're also the bat dog for the Tulsa Drillers.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of people walk by and they're like, hey, we saw your recent YouTube video, and they pointed out and they're watching it. So they're like, we see Achilles everywhere. So they're like, we saw him at the home show. We saw him at the Drillers game. We see him at the Oilers. Cause some of these people, like, their thing is to go to all the Tulsa sporting events or all events, and they just see us at all these places. So it's great.
So when you talk to this person about the cane Corso, do you remember what kind of questions that she had, or what kind of questions do people have when they bring their cane Corso?
Well, the number one thing is their dog trainable? So like last night we were at the Oilers game, and this guy was like, hey, I have a Yorkie and you can't train it.
A Yorkie?
Yeah, a Yorkie.
Oh, Yorkie. Okay, let me see real quick. This is a Yorkie. I specialize in misspelling the names of dogs. Getting better, but this is a Yorkie. Kind of looks like a Wookiee.
Yeah, it is, but it's super small. It's they're typically stubborn. They're normally some people call them yapper dogs, but I think they're great. They do. And I was like, yeah, we'll for sure be able to do it. So he was like, no, you can't do it. I was like, well, the good news is our first lesson is 50 cents. So that's what, and I'll work with your dog in front of you. And we offer a money back guarantee. So if I can't do it, you get your money back.
I love that deal. And nobody else does that deal.
No, most dog trainers say it might stick, and it's quote unquote, what that means is it might work. It's just their excuse to either blame the dog or the owner if the training doesn't work. And that's something we never do, is we never blame the owner or the dog. Right. We always blame ourselves. It's
an interesting thing, because if I went to a restaurant and I said, hey, I'd like to order a Caesar salad, and the waiter says, yeah, absolutely, it's $14. And by the way, it might be good.
Yeah.
And you go, what? They go, yeah, it might be good. I mean, I'll charge you either way, but it might be good. I mean, if I went to a steakhouse which wouldn't happen. But if I went to a steakhouse, high end, and I said, I'd like my steak cooked medium, and they go, well, it might or might not be fully cooked.
Well,
I mean, any other situation in life, you
to
would.
stay on that topic,
Yeah.
a lot of trainers, they don't even tell you like what you'll get. So it'd be like if you went to Outback and you're like, hey, what comes with the steak? And they're like, we'll see.
We'll see.
And
We'll
like,
let her in.
We'll see.
Wow.
So that's kind of how, because the dog training world is just crazy because there's no governing body over it. Anyone can be a dog trainer. Clay, you've never trained dogs, but if you wanted to, right now you could go make 15 different websites, give yourself 15 different certifications, and go start training dogs tomorrow.
Well, you know, the one thing I love about, I'm not refuting what you're saying, but one thing I love about the way the world works right now, a lot of things we like, a lot of things we don't. But one thing I like is that, you know, people can go leave a review.
Yeah.
So if I did go get, you know, certifications and that were bogus and I didn't know what I was doing, eventually it would show up in my reviews. And
Correct.
you have gone to some of the best dog trainers in the world. Seriously, no hyperbole. I mean, just tell us about a couple of the trainers that you've been trained by. Because, I mean, these are trainers that have trained dogs in movies, celebrity dogs. You know, these are people that have worked at, have helped to run SeaWorld. I mean, these are the who's who of animal training, really. Tell us about the dog trainers that have helped to train you.
Yeah, so I've had some great dog trainers help to train me. I've flown out to multiple different places in the United States, paid a bunch of money because my goal was to learn from the top trainers and then take the good, and then anything that contradicted each other, I would use intuition and get rid of the bad.
Love it.
So then it's because the whole goal of dog training should be that it's easiest on the dog, it's easy on the owners, and easier on the trainers. But most people don't, like most dog trainers don't have the mindset. They want the owner to be a trainer. What I mean by that is I went to a lesson. It was with the Great Dane. The Great Dane pulled mom through an RV park, and the trainer that had come beforehand put a vest on the dog.
Yeah.
Put an e-collar on the dog, put a choke chain on the dog, and they had to wear a treat pouch.
Wow.
And so they're having to do like 4 different things.
Right.
And so now they're expecting, and even like for me, who I've been training dogs, 4 different things at once with one dog.
Yeah.
While you're watching their environment around you, it's a lot. So it's not a realistic thing. So my goal is to make everything as simple as possible.
Now, again, folks, if you're out there today and you have a Great Dane, you have a Yorkie, you have a cane Corso, good news is I'm learning to spell all these things. But if you have these kinds of dogs, you train them. So let's go back to this cane Corso. So you meet with this young lady about her dog.
Yep.
And what happened during that first lesson? Tell us about that first lesson.
Yeah, well, the first lesson, her dog was pulling the whole time on the leash.
Yeah.
You know, won't stop pulling on the leash. We can't really even have a conversation because it's trying to jump on me. It's trying to chase squirrels. It's trying to run around. And so mom's like holding on to it. And then I show my dog, I show Achilles. I learn more about their goals. And then I work with Remy a little bit. And then Remy's doing great. And mom is blown away because Remy has never listened to mom. And now Remy's coming off leash.
This is in like a 7-hour first lesson, or how much time are you? How long is that first lesson?
Yeah, so the first lesson is typically 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow. So in 45 minutes, they're saying, my dog's never behaved like this.
Correct.
Wow. So at that point, you sit down, we bring an item which is called a one sheet for anybody out there that doesn't know. It's basically picture a laminated 8.5 by 11 document, picture a menu at a restaurant, picture a menu. If you're on a cruise, they have an excursion menu. Picture some sort of laminated brochure, and it's very transparent about the prices and the options. So you sit down and you're like, hey, based upon the dog's breed, the dog's age, the dog's weight, your goals, etc., we've got package A, B, C, or how does that work?
Yeah, so basically how it works from the very beginning is I get there and I'm figuring out their goals because we charge based on results, not number of lessons or length of time.
Got it.
So I'm figuring out their goals. Then I'm telling them more about us and what we offer, what sets us apart from other dog trainers. And then I show them my dog, and I show them my dog because I want to show them the different commands we teach, because we reshape behavioral issues through dog training commands. And so I want to show them how the commands will apply in their life and how we can get them to their goals. And then because as a dog training, your own dog is kind of your diploma.
Yeah.
Because if somebody brings you their dog, or wants to train your dog, and you see their dog and their dog's, not listening at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to name the trainer, so I'm going to speak very vaguely.
Yeah.
But there was a dog trainer at the Drillers game.
Okay.
Because it's Bark in the Park night, so everyone can bring their dogs, and they're trying to get a picture of their dog in the outfield, and their dog won't even sit for them to take a picture.
But they are a trainer.
Got it.
And
that's their personal dog.
got it.
And so they're like, sit, Fluffy, sit. And they're
Come
like,
on, sit. I'm a dog trainer, Fluffy.
and they're like yelling at it. They're yanking up on the chain, but that dog's never been in those environments. So
Right.
that's why wherever we do the first lesson, even if it's at your house, I'm bringing my dog so I can show you that the training works anywhere. Because if I get someone's dog to listen to me, but not them, it's pretty pointless. Or if I get somebody's dog to listen at a training facility, but the moment we go in public, the dog brain dumps everything.
Right.
That's also super pointless. So all of our training has to work everywhere. And then after I show them my dog, now I'm working with their dog. And I want to explain how we train. I want to show them what we're doing, because our ultimate goal is happy dogs and happy people. So I want to make sure that we're a great fit for them.
Now, as far as the pricing goes, at the end of the day, we have the most affordable dog training lessons in Oklahoma, I would say America. And people say, well, how does that work? Well, the way it works is that we have committed at Make Your Dog Epic to doing the following things. One is you as a buyer, you're going to get the highest rated, most reviewed. You're going to get a money back guarantee. You're going to get 50-cent first lessons, but we'll beat any competitor's price. And I think that's powerful, because I know there's families right now that are in a tight spot financially, other people not so much. And for them to know that you're going to beat any competitor's price, that's a powerful thing. So then people say, okay, yeah, I want to sign up. I want to move forward. What does the steps look like that? Once someone says, okay, I do want you to train my Great Dane, I do want you to train my Yorkshire, we're on the same page, I'm wowed, I get it, I like it, I've chosen my package, I do want you guys to train my cane Corso. What does it look like, and how long does it take to get the dog back?
Well, we fix 98% issues in 1 to 3 weeks. So it depends on if you do one-on-one lessons, which is half dog training, half human training. I'll let everyone listening guess which one's harder. Or we do boarding school. So no matter what you do, we fix 98% of issues in 1 to 3 weeks. And then we're bringing the dog, if it's boarding school, we'll bring the dog back to you. We do the take-home lesson, which is typically an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's where we're doing family training. So that's where we do the human side of it. Or if we do private lessons, that's where you're very involved in the training. So some people either have the time, or they do want to learn and they want to be a part of it, or they just don't want to send their dog away. Fully understandable. So whatever your goals are, our goal is to get you to your goals. So however advanced you want it, we can do it. So if you're just like, I just want Fluffy to stop barking at the neighbors, pulling me on the leash, and jumping on everyone when they walk through the door, sweet, we'll get you there. Or if your goal is like, hey, I saw Achilles at the Tulsa Drillers game, and he was doing the bat dog stuff, and he jumped on your back, and he played dead, and he rolled over, and he sat a mile away. He does all that stuff. I want my dog to do all of that stuff. Sweet, we'll do that. Like the dog I have, Adam, he saw Achilles at a home show, and they got a Belgian Malinois, and he travels all the time, and he was like, I need Adam to be exactly like Achilles. And I was like, sweet, this is your option. And so now we're doing it, and he's doing great. Yeah.
That's a Belgian Malinois.
Yeah. And his is super, I'm not gonna lie, his is really cool looking. It's all black. I was like, hey, if you ever, his looks like that one in the
wow.
Yeah. That's what his looks like. Well, I guess that's AI, but that would be there. The second from the right.
So
that one.
So you're like, hey man, if you ever feel the need to sell your dog,
I'm like, hey,
buy that
if
thing.
you ever,
is that the way you look at other people's dogs? You're like, hey, I love your Great Dane. Can I buy it? I mean, is that a thing you're doing? Are you trying to buy dogs from our wonderful customers?
Buy dogs is just some people, they get into like situations where they either move into an apartment and they have a Belgian Malinois and it's like so much energy, or they get into these situations.
Right.
And there's just certain dogs that are like, when I owned a dog training business in Nashville, there was this little dog. It was a mini, what was it called? It was a doodle mix. It was a mini
So you're in Nashville.
Golden Doodle.
You're in Nashville because you used to own a Nashville location.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're saying so you were there running your own business.
Yep, and they had a mini Golden Doodle.
Yeah,
you can look up a picture of this
mini Golden Doodle.
Mini Golden Doodle.
So far, you've never misled me on the breeds of dogs, but I think one of these times I'm going to type in the name of a breed, and it's not going to be a dog.
Okay, so it looked like this.
Yes,
and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was doing like everything that other dogs do. It was doing in like 1/3 of the time it took.
Dog genius.
It was like the Einstein of dogs.
Oh,
and I was like, hey, if you ever, for any reason, you're like, hey, I can't keep this dog, I will fly here. I will do whatever. I will come get the dog. I want this dog. It's awesome. But now she's taking it through hospitals and other stuff. Basically using it as like a comfort dog for people in hospitals. And so, but her dog, it was super smart, but it still had behavioral issues, even though it was smart. So it was still like jumping on people. And pros and cons of having a smart dog for you guys out there listening is pro, it's smart, con, it's smart. Because they're either going to learn good stuff or bad stuff, but they're going to learn it fast. So this dog learned, because it was so small, if it jumped on people, that most people are like, oh, you're so cute, let me pet you. But you can't do that to kids in the hospital. So mom was like, I've done everything. I can't get it to stop jumping, can't get it to do whatever. And the issue wasn't like that the dog was too dumb or whatever. I was like, no, this is actually one of the smartest dogs I've ever worked. It's awesome. And now she's able to take it through hospitals, and she's great, and they're having a great time.
Now I'm taking notes here because I really want to get into a behind the scenes look into the life of a makeyourdogepic.com dog trainer. So this week you've trained, just to recap, I'm taking notes here. The first dog that you can think of that we're training this week would be a what?
The Cane Corso.
Cane Corso. And again, folks, for everybody out there learning how to spell these names, you are on my team. I'm trying to figure out too.
And there's someone mad at me because I'm not saying Cane Corso.
Got it.
Cane or Cane
Corso. Yes. Cane Corso. Okay, what's the other breed we're working with this week?
A Belgian Malinois.
Then that's
we have 2 of those right now.
Really, this week?
Yeah, we got 2 of those this week. Well, we did on Tuesday. I did a first lesson, and then they had 3 dogs in their house. So they had a German Shepherd, a Belgian Malinois, and then a Doodle mix. And they sent all 3 to boarding school. So all 3 of those dogs are at boarding school. And that lesson. The people are great. The dad was super funny. He had what you would have really liked this dad, because he had one-liners for days.
Yes.
He nonstop one-liners. And I feel like me and him appreciated the jokes, and mom did not appreciate the jokes.
She's probably heard them all 4 times.
Yeah, because she's already heard them all a lot.
He tests the jokes on her.
Yeah. She's like how comedians, they like do the tour before they do the special.
Yeah.
And she's the tour. So she's like testing out the one-liners, because if she cracks a smirk, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to laugh at him.
I know this too. It's interesting. My background, building a massive entertainment company many years ago. I would get out to weddings and, switching gears, and I haven't owned this company for well over a decade, but I'd get out, I'm going, okay, there's only so many, we got to get people to at least smirk when they're cutting the cake, you know? So I had a run sheet that I made, which I think every business should have, but every company that's trying to scale, that's trying to franchise, you need to have, I call it a run sheet, or for this conference we just did, you might call it a conference, a checklist, but it's a sheet of the times of the events and what's going to be going on. But for like our conference we had this weekend, our business conference, I didn't have to pre-write my jokes, but you understand I had, 40 disc jockeys going out to weddings. So I had to pre-write the jokes.
Yeah.
For the DJs.
Yeah.
So on their run sheet are the jokes. So it would say something like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we're going to do the cutting of the cake. We've got a beautiful bride. We've got a groom. We've got a knife. Should be exciting. And it's not designed to be like, ha, 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 funny, but it's just a little quip.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut the cake. You had to have something in there for everything.
Yeah, because if you don't, then they'll just start saying wild stuff probably.
Right. And so I would think about this obsessively. So I'm like, okay, folks, we got the best man. He's going to come up and toast, and we're going to have the maid of honor. Then we're going to have, it's incredible. I'm excited about it. We're going to have the caterer come up and say a few words. He just met the couple. He's inspired. And I'd write it down and I'm like,
that's good.
Yeah. But I'm like, I got the guy in the front to laugh a little bit. Okay. That's good. So I'm going through every part. And I think that's important for, franchising a dog training business, franchising a haircut chain, because with the hair business I run, the elephant in the room, the hairstylist sits down with a man to cut his hair. And frankly, most people don't know what to say to a stranger. And so there's this like, hey, you want to get your hair cut? All right. So, okay. And then they just sit in silence if you don't script it. So a huge part of the value add for that company, as I was scaling it into different territories and locations, was having those pre-scripted things. But I'm not kidding. I would personally DJ about 150 events a year, oftentimes more, 3 events a week. And that was the testing ground for every joke, because you do the grand intro and you're like, we've all been to a wedding where you do the grand intro and nobody stands up and it's awkward as anything.
Super awkward.
So for that I had to write 3 announcements that were before the announcement. So it was, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just a moment, the bride and groom are going to get here. We're going to do the grand introduction, and I'm going to need everybody to stand for the grand intro. I need everyone to stand. So if you're how many ladies do we have here? Woo! How many dudes do we have? Woo! Are you here? How many people are here? And it would be, okay, so you're here. That's good. That's good. We're getting good material. I'll be back in 7 seconds with a reminder. And then 7 seconds later, all right, folks, the bride and groom are going to get here in 10 minutes. And I scripted everything.
Yeah.
What was funny is that the brides who had been to, I DJ'd their wedding, and then they were a bridesmaid in another wedding.
Yeah.
They would go, your DJ used all your jokes. And I'm going, oh yeah. But that's so important. I think that's one thing that you could expect at Make Your Dog Epic, is that you make even the onboarding not awkward, because nobody wants to go meet a dog trainer and they have a weird, bizarre.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you meet with professionals, I would say doctors, dentists, lawyers, there seems to be a condescension to the relationship.
Yeah.
Where it's like, ma'am, I'm gonna be working today with your Great Dane, right? And obviously you don't know anything about dogs, but I do. I understand you're not a dog expert like I am. So if you could just sit over there, let the wizard work, and it's like a condescending experience. And I remember we hired a dog trainer. I'm not gonna mention the name, but they had, I'll be vague about who, but it was a person in my family hired a dog trainer, and the person in my family came back and they were like, hey, this dog trainer was actually mean to me and somehow made me feel less than during the process. And it was just where that family member of mine was going, hey, we've never had these kinds of dogs before. And we just want them to sit, to heal, and to basically, just to sit and to heal. That's really, we're not going to be taking them on walks. They're more of a farm dog. Yeah. We just want them to sit and to heal. That's all we're looking for. And it was a big thing of like, oh, no, you say that now, but what you're going to want, and it was this big, like crazy, and we almost like didn't work as a family. Our family almost did not work with someone we've known for years because they were so difficult and so condescending on that first interaction.
Yeah, and that's how it is with a lot of dog trainers. So we're very intentional about that. First lesson when we come, whenever we talk to people, we're like, hey, can you fill me in as to what we have going on with our dog? Because I want it to be, because my goals can't be your goals.
Right.
I have to figure out what you're actually wanting, because as a dog trainer, I can't push like what I quote unquote view as the perfect obedience onto you.
Right.
Because even though in a perfect world, a dog walks next to you, he's touching you, he's looking at you, his shoulder's touching your leg, his face is looking at you the whole time.
Right.
Then when he sits, he turns, he looks at you. Like no one actually cares about that. Like the customers don't actually want that. They're like, hey, I don't care about any of that. I just need Fluffy to stop, pulling me down the street. And so you have to actually get the people to the goals that they actually want, and not less than that and not beyond that.
Right.
Because either way, they're going to be pissed if you get them not as good as their goals. So if they're like, hey, I don't want Fluffy to jump on everyone, and you're like, okay, well, we'll just have Fluffy only jump on the mailman and your grandma. Well, that doesn't work.
Right.
Or if you're like, Okay, well, what we're going to do on top of that is we're also going to make you alpha of the home. So your dog's going to have to sleep outside. It can never be on the couch. It can never be on the furniture.
I've heard this.
Which a lot of people have told me that my dog has to do that. Like I've had other trainers say, hey,
I've heard this.
Achilles needs to sleep outside. He can't be on your furniture. You can't play with him. He needs to be a tool.
A tool.
Yeah, because that's how, like, if you take bird dogs, like bird dog trainers, that's how they view the dogs is just a tool. And it's like, I get it. Each, like, you have your own realms.
Right.
But these people at their homes, they don't want that.
Right.
So, like, if I had to, like, have my dog do all that for him to listen, then I wouldn't have a dog because that defeats the whole purpose for me.
That makes a lot, that makes a lot of sense. And I'll tell you, folks, if you're out there today, again, if you're looking for a dog trainer that you can trust, another thing I want to show you, just a little sneak peek these will lead you down a rabbit trail of endless research. We have so many reviews from normal people that we've trained their dog. So I'm going to pull this up here as an example. These people appear to not be actors. I mean, maybe she's an actor. I don't know. Maybe she's watching. She's like, I am an actor.
Oregon, Utah, and this is Sky, and we had an amazing training experience. I think they did a great job with her, and we're super happy with how she came back and kept her fun personality. And yeah, she's still a puppy and she's still learning a little bit off, but she's a pleasure to take on walks, and it's great that she knows all of her commands. And yeah, it's just,
so these are real people that we
that's
actually work with.
And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people, because that was a boarding school dog, and that was one of their biggest things is the personality is still there. And that's one of our biggest things is we're not going and crushing dogs' personalities. Like, full disclosure, when I trained Achilles to be the bad dog, I had never taught retrieve before because most people don't need their dog to retrieve.
Right.
So I've never done it. So I called a bunch of different trainers, and the first thing that comes to mind with retrieve is a bird dog trainer.
Right.
Because that's all they do all day, every day. And I was like, hey, my number one thing is he has like the perfect personality for these events. He loves kids. He loves dogs. He's outgoing. His tail's wagging all the time because he's just a happy guy. And he was like, yeah, that's going to have to change. No, I'm serious. This is what he said. He said it's going to take, and I was like, and I need it done. Like, we need to be done soon. So like, I can do it if you just teach me, like, walk me through the steps.
Right.
And he was like, well, it's going to take at least 2 months.
Wow.
And your dog's going to, like, he's most likely going to lose most of his personality.
That's terrible.
He was like, he might still have some. You might be able to bring some back out later.
He might talk to you in the future.
And so, I mean, but that's how, like, they treat not just me, but other clients. Like, they're like that open about it because they're like, hey, this is how it is. This is how we train. We still train from the Collier method, he wrote a book in the 1950s about dog training. And this is still what we do. And we just use super negative training. We just crush dogs' personalities to get them to listen.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what, if you want a money-back guaranteed dog training service, you're looking for the best Broken Arrow dog training service available, the highest rated and most reviewed. You want that first lesson for just 50 cents. You want to experience the revolutionary, focus-based, positive reinforcement dog training methodology. You want a company with literally hundreds and hundreds of objective video reviews, thousands of Google reviews. You want to work with the highest rated, most reviewed dog training company in America. Fill out the form today, makeyourdogepic.com. You too can have a great relationship with your dog. Your dog can truly become man's best friend. You can experience what it's like to have a dog as your best friend, as your companion, as an animal you can trust. It really can change the entire dynamic. And all it requires is for you to take that call to action, take that first step. Take that call to action. Go to makeyourdogepic.com to schedule that first lesson. Again, go to makeyourdogepic.com to schedule that first lesson today.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Maddie. This is Sunny. We did training with Make Your Dog Epic, and we did the private lessons. Well, she's a little crazy. And we wanted to make sure that she would be safe if we took her to a park off leash, also for our sanity.
We've noticed she's been a lot calmer. She hasn't barked as much, and been really good on the leash training so far, and
She's listened more.
Continue to work on that.
Lots of loose leash walks. That's going to be awesome. Like off leash at the park, knowing that she'll be okay. You know, if she does run off for some reason.
Excited to see her around other dogs, listening to me over there.
Yeah. Well, we love that you came to our house instead of having to go somewhere else. Also, the group classes after you complete your sessions is going to be awesome. Also, the boarding, which we didn't know about, which is great because we do like to go out of town a lot.
Yeah, Lexi's been awesome. She came in super welcoming with our dog and treated her super well. And it was nice to have the one-on-one lessons with her.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. We totally recommend Make Your Dog Epic. The process was super easy. Everyone's been really awesome and super friendly. And the training's already worked in just the 5 sessions that we had, so
we loved it. Our dogs loved it so far.
Do you need to have your dog professionally trained? Do you need your dog to stop barking at the neighbors? Do you want your dog to stop going potty in the house? Do you want to have an epic and well-trained dog at an affordable price? What makes the Make Your Dog Epic dog training experience unique? At Make Your Dog Epic, your first dog training lesson is just 50 cents, which is less than $1. Make Your Dog Epic is home to the highest rated, most reviewed dog training company in the area. At Make Your Dog Epic, we will beat any competitor's price for similar services. At Make Your Dog Epic, we offer a money-back guarantee. So if the training doesn't work, we never blame you or the dog, it's always our fault. At Make Your Dog Epic, we offer the fastest turnaround time in the industry. That way you can start enjoying time with your epic dog as soon as possible. At Make Your Dog Epic, when you schedule that first lesson with us, we automatically enter you in for a chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Whoa! Which is a lot like Oklahoma, except the weather's different. There's beaches, palm trees. But if you'd rather go to Oklahoma, we can do that as well. How does the Make Your Dog Epic training experience work? When you fill out that form on makeyourdogepic.com, we are going to call you and schedule that first lesson for just 50 cents, which is less than $1. We are going to meet you for that first lesson. That way we can tell you what it's going to take to get your dog to your goals. Because every dog's different and everyone's goals are different. We'll either do one-on-one lessons where it's half dog training, half human training. I'll let you guess which one's harder. Or we're going to do boarding school, where you send your dog with us and we take care of all the homework for you. No matter what you do, we're going to make sure everything transfers to you. Because it's pretty pointless if we get your dog to listen to us, but no one else in your family. Disclaimer, currently we do not offer a service that will get your in-laws to listen to you. You will receive unlimited ongoing group class for the remainder of your dog's epic life. That's because we want to be there for you and your dog forever. We never want you to have to use another trainer after training with us. Our goal is to teach obedience, but never at the expense of the dog's personality, because if we get your dog to listen, but we have to crush its spirit in the process, what's the point? Our motto is it's the same dog, but now it's all ears. You'll now have a well-behaved dog that you can walk or jog with without it channeling its inner sled dog and pulling you down the street. You will have a dog that won't bark at the neighbors or potty in the house. You will be entered in for a contest to win a dream trip to Hawaii that we will be giving away every January. Pow wow whoa, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. Take that first step and schedule that first 50-cent lesson at makeyourdogepic.com. Makeyourdogepic.com.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Let's go now. Let's go now. Here we go now.